Alrighty, YouTube, what's going on? It's Mesa back at it with some Destiny, and this is what I've been waiting for all summer, is a better look, or first look, at the patrols, open world, exploration, adventures, public events, things to do. Without further ado, let's jump into this. So if you didn't know, IGN's first for the month of July is Destiny 2. So they're releasing stuff on a daily basis, and today they released Destiny 2 Exploring Nessus, Lost Sectors, Public Events, and Adventures. So let's go dissect all the juicy footage. So first up, when you land, you actually see new quest activity available and new adventure available. And as I pointed out in a previous video, the adventures, the rewards from the adventures, that's where we're going to get the unlock things that we're going to unlock our subclass nodes. Next up, the Bungie developers asked, well, what's your favorite public event? And we see this right here, the Cabal excavation. So you're gonna basically override this mining lander while you've got a Cabal warship overhead raining hell down on you and also dropping ads nonstop. Now they also discussed that some of the old public events, they've kind of reimagined them, but he did make a big point to clarify that there are way more brand new public events compared to the old public events. Now, public events are also going to have a heroic trigger to them, as he discussed, in that if you trigger them, they make them way harder. More enemies, more ads, more everything. And he also said that they'll have like bonus objectives, bonus bosses, and of course, better loot. Then they move on to adventures, and look at the reward right there. That's what you're going to use to unlock your subclass nodes. Now, the adventures are going to be roughly 15 minutes long. They're going to be narrated. They're going to be kind of like side quests, but they're going to not only expand on the main story, they're also going to tell the story of those destinations that you're on. They also said that there's no load-in screen or anything. You just fire it up, kick it off when you find one, and you're on your way. They also said that they're going to tell some of the stories of like why some of the enemy races are where they are. Like, why are the Vex on Nessus? What are they doing there? Next up, we get a look at the Lost Sectors. And if you didn't know, Lost Sectors, you find these little symbols, and I know a number of us found them in the Destiny 2 beta. You find these symbols, and then you can make your way down to a cave. And the original theory was, okay, you find these Lost Sectors, it'll be a cave, there'll be a boss, and shoot him, get some loot. But he actually said that these cave systems are going to be huge, and they're going to be on all destinations. They also mentioned that some of them are going to be pretty easy to find, and then some of them are going to be difficult to find. That's why I can't wait till this game comes out, because I have Detective Slusberry. If you don't know, he's one of my friends, but he is just a master at finding secrets and uncovering things. Now, this is one of the bosses, and look at the treasure in the back. You see, they have kind of a new treasure chest now. So he said these are going to vary in terms of scope. You know, some are going to be harder than others, obviously. Some of them are going to be longer, some are going to be shorter, so forth. But here's what the actual chest looks like, and we can see it's quite different than what we're used to, but they don't show you what actually drops from them, which is kind of cool. We'll wait and see. Next up, we see a mini quest, or a part of a quest that we get from Failsafe. That's the new AI that's on Nessus. Now, a little background on Failsafe. Failsafe is the leftover AI from a colony ship, a human colony ship that was on Nessus. Now, what you're looking at here is what's called a world quest. These are going to be much larger than the narrated 15-minute long, roughly, adventures. Now, this is a long one, and it's going to tell the story of Failsafe and what happened to the human colony ship that got here and so forth. So basically, more storytelling. And I read somewhere over the weekend that there's roughly 50 to 52, actually this came out of San Diego Comic-Con, there's roughly 50 to 52 cutscenes in Destiny 2. Now, this long world quest is not going to be available right away. You have to finish the campaign before you can have access to these world quests. They also said these will give you some pretty good rewards, or at least that was his quote right there. So it looks like these world quests are going to be things to do. You know, we always complain, we finished the campaign, and then what else is there to do? Well, it looks like the open world exploration, adventures, lost sectors, and these world quests, they're going to be the things to do. Next up, they talk about the landing zones. So we know that all the destinations will have landing zones, and you can quickly fast travel between them. Those are not going to be unlocked right away. They really want you to go out and explore everything and unlock, basically, just explore the world, unlock the various different areas. But he said you might wander into an area and realize, hey, I am under leveled for this. So we still don't know the whole light level thing or what's going to be the light cap. You know, we saw in the Inverted Spire Strike, we were 200, and I believe the enemies, or at least when he killed me, it said that their power level was 200. So we're going to go in there. The landing zones won't be unlocked right away. We'll have to explore, and we might not want to go into an area until our light level or power level is up higher. Next up, they talk about flashpoints. Now remember, flashpoints are going to be those weekly things to do on destinations that yield Nightfall tier reward gear. Now you see here it says Flashpoint Nessus, complete public events on Nessus, prestigious gear. Now they talk about how the theory behind the Flashpoints is that they wanted to give something that everyone can do, that everyone could just jump in and get something that's a Nightfall tier type reward, very powerful weapon, powerful gear. Next up, they talk about how each week they're going to pick one area of a destination, and your objective, which will give you these powerful rewards, is going to be to clear out public events. He also said that Kate 6 each week is going to be selling treasure maps, and those treasure maps are going to be for the destination that's chosen for that week for the Flashpoint. He also goes on to say that there will be some secret bosses that you will not see unless you trigger the Flashpoint for that particular week. And he says when you trigger them, it's more than likely going to be when you trigger the heroic versions of these public events, and they also will drop some pretty high-end loot. But he did say to get those bosses, to trigger getting those bosses, you either got to finish the public events really fast or trigger the heroic versions of those public events. So that's it for the meat and potatoes. I'm going to link the full video and interview in the description. Make sure you go have a look. There's some raw gameplay you can listen to also. Guys, I am so hyped. This is what I'm looking forward to the most within Destiny 2. I've always been like an open world buff. I love patrolling in Destiny 1. I feel like there's not enough to do. But based on what I'm hearing here, there's going to be tons of stuff to do outside of just doing the story, outside of just doing strike, outside of doing the raid, and that's it. Do me a favor, guys, drop a like in this video only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I'm out of here like Vladimir.